Detective Season 1 has 1 to 5 players gathering clues, collecting evidence, and working together to solve a crime. Let's get to the review.
So much fun. I do recall in the rulebook saying this isn't a choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
This is totally a choose your own adventure.
I think what they meant by that was it doesn't have a set conclusion. Most of the cards we didn't end up using from this deck, this timer here, kind of determines how long you have to do it, that it's not possible to get through every single clue. It made our decisions really matter, where you're like, okay, we're at the police station already. Like, should we interview some more people while we're here? Should we do this thing? Like, let's not waste time. And you kind of have to sort of form a theory and kind of try to pursue like your theory.
And kind of use your intuition and trust it. Like
I mentioned, if you've seen the show, First 48, and it was saying that, most cases, if they're not solved, whatever the percentage is, if a case is not solved in the first 48 hours, they tend to fail. And I think that did a really good job of recreating this, where you're like, you don't have weeks and weeks and weeks to find this evidence. Like, people will start to cover their tracks, they'll change their story, they'll disappear, whatever. And it gave you this like pressure. And it's not a physical timer, where you have to, it's not like an escape room where you're sitting there like scrambling.
You have an hour and go.
It's a different type of pressure. It was still a little more relaxed.
It's more like,
and you could take breaks if you needed to.
It's more like you have X amount of turns to get this solved, but some things you do take 2 turns versus 1 turn.
Yeah. So that was really cool. I thought that did a good job of creating like that emotional response from it.
This game, you have to have an internet connection to access a bunch of files, videos, like databases for fingerprints, DNA, all these things. But I actually really enjoyed it, and it added to the experience in this case. Which is not how I usually feel. And the quality was
pretty good. Like, they have, there's a section where you do a phone call, and it's like a recorded face.
It's like a FaceTime video.
And, somebody at this creator filmed themselves giving this, fake phone call. And it was actually pretty good. Like, you get into the story of it, and they did a nice job with it. Like, everybody's seen CSI and everybody's seen cop shows, and they get what it is to be a detective. And you could be the game master for, like, your parents and your grandma could play this game. Where, everybody could be, I could totally see you having a big conversation like what we were doing. We're like, do you think this is what happened? Do you think this is what happened?
What's the motive? What's this? What do you think happened?
Yeah, so that was really cool. I could see that being a good game to break out with non-gamer friends.
There was an interesting mechanic that I don't think we fully grasped, where each scenario comes with just like suspect photos that I would have preferred them to be labeled with names in some capacity, because at one point we're just like, wait,
they're kind
who is this guy?
Yeah, they're kind of expecting you through context clues to be like, you read something about a character and then it's like obtain portrait 3.
We're like, just to be certain, this is that guy.
And by the end it was like, oh, okay, they're clearly talking about, oh, this is their assistant or whoever.
But I just wish maybe they had labeled them with just the character names.
Yeah. So I knew that this would speak to you, and I really enjoyed it too. But one thing that came to mind when we were playing this that's really interesting compared to Exit and some of the other escape room games is that the puzzles are always, in my opinion, I'm not actually a huge fan of the escape room board games. Because the clues are very unintuitive in the sense that, like, they don't match the story. It's like, have you been captured by this terrorist? And,
But look at the box and the barcode is a code.
This box is like red and green. Like, where can I use red and green? Like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, those
are only poorly written escape room games. Continue.
But it pulls you out of the story that's supposed to be taking place in an escape room game. And the puzzles are always like, this string of numbers and, oh, these colors line up and this and that. And it's not real. What I like about this is that there's no answer. There's no like single answer. Oh, and when I get to card number 10, I go through all the different passageways and I get to card number 10 and I win. It's like you could get all of the information and not figure it out because you just didn't get it.
Yeah.
You missed a detail.
Or you know a little bit about many different situations going on in this character's life.
Yeah.
But you didn't really follow the one trail that will lead you to your destination.
Yeah, or like we got 50% of the way there, I would say. And we had to kind of come up with a story of like, okay, imagine like what was their motive? Like, why would this person have done this? Or
like we know A and B, but we don't know really C, but part of D.
Or we figured out two things that didn't line up, and we were like, oh, so there's like something's a lie here. Like somebody's lying to us. Like there's something going on, which was really cool that it wasn't this sort of like predetermined path to the answer. So you could unlock every piece of evidence that you need to solve it and not get it, which is actually really cool.
Yes, and you don't need to color code anything.
Yeah, you don't need to color code anything, thank God. I forgot how much this costs. I thought so. This is cheap. 25 to 30 bucks. So let's say $10 per scenario. You know, for an hour and a half, 2 hours of entertainment. Like this is a pretty good return on investment. Yeah. We really enjoyed this one. Go pick it up. And if you liked the video, do not forget, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. We really appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks.